PowerPoint is an amazing tool and can do wonders. Exception is, we need to know how it works. In this course, we'll see how we can create professional looking PowerPoint presentations for our next project. We'll start with the basics. We'll first see how the interface of PowerPoint works. We'll go into each and every option that is available on PowerPoint and see how it works. Let's begin. First up, we have the Home tab and we have the paste option. So this is the option of keeping use destination theme, keep source formatting or paste as picture. Okay, how does that work? Let's see. So I'm going to this another presentation. And from here, I want to copy paste this particular slide, let's say. So Command C, and let's move to my presentation. And over here, if I come ahead and say, if I click on this blank area and I do Command B, we lost a lot of information, didn't we? This is where this particular option comes into place. You can access it from here as well, or you can access it from here as well. So it says use destination theme. Use destination theme means it will use the theme of this presentation where it has been pasted. So I have pasted this particular slide at PPT1 destination, right? So it is using the theme of the PPT1 deck. But if I want to view the slide as it was in my earlier presentation, I need to select the option Keep Source Formatting. If I click on this option, you will see this is similar to what I had in this presentation. Why? Because now it's using the source formatting, like formatting of the source from where it has been pulled. Then we have the option of paste as picture. So if I select this option, now if you'll see, this is a picture. You can't edit it, right? And if I would have selected the option of keep source formatting, that means I can edit it as much as I want. So these are the three options that are related to this particular paste option. For these options, if I select any element on my slide and if I select cut option, then it will cut that particular element. If I select the copy option, that means it will copy this, and I can use Command V to paste it anywhere I want. Or it can duplicate it. But we all know the shortcuts for copy, paste, and duplicate. So it's like Command C, Command V. So we don't use these two options much, but I just shared it with you for your understanding. Then we have an option called formatting. Let's say we have this title for the slide and then we have a subtitle for the slide. Now we want to use that format option. What this format option does is, if I select this law of proximity option and if I click on format and then click on the slide one, then you'll see the formatting of this has been copy pasted to the destination. This is the purpose of format option. You can copy paste the appearance of any element, be it a shape, text, or whatever. This is a very handy tool, of course. Now that we have covered this section, let's shift to this section which says new slide. Let's click on this new slide and we have a new slide to work on. But what does this arrow icon says? Let's explore the meaning of this arrow icon. If I click on this, then it says office theme and a couple of slides. So this is the template and we have a lot of options in here. Whenever we work on presentations, usually keep these templates in place, layouts we call them. And I will come back to this point later. But for now, let's just say, if we want to add a new slide, we have an option to select the layout of the slide that we want to have. And from this, I can select any layout, say, I go for blank slide and see I have a blank slide to work on. Or maybe I want to go with picture with caption. So I have this template to work on. How does this picture thing work? Let's just click on this picture icon over here and you'll see it opens up my folders and I can select whichever picture I want to insert and then click insert. If you'll see, I now have the picture in place. That being said, let's shift back to our top bar. And we now understand how to use these layouts for our presentations. We have the option of duplicate slide, reuse slides. We can explore these, of course. So duplicate slide, we of course know it will duplicate the slide that we currently have. For the reuse slide, let's select this option. And now what we can do is we can choose any PPT of our choice from here. So if I say I select this particular PPT and I hit OK, it has brought all the slides that were there in that particular PPT. So this is how we are reusing the slides. Now that we understand all this, let's see what other options we have on the right. It says layout. This we have already understood. Layout option is available over here as well as over here. These two are similar. Then it says reset slide. So what happens is sometimes, say I'm using this particular layout and say I'm adding hello there, and I somehow shifted it towards the right or misplaced the position of that. In order to fix this, all I need to do is reset and it will jump back to the position of the elements that we have in the original layout template. Then we have sections. Sections are like if you are working on a presentation, you want to segregate your slides just for yourself. What you can do is say I have these 3 slides and I want to name these 3 slides into 3 different sections. What I can do is I can select this and I say add section. Now a section has been added over here and I say this is introduction. Let's go ahead and add a new section over here. Add section. This is description and so on. So we can go ahead and after whatsoever slides we want to add section, we can just click in between the slides and there we can add a new section. This is for ourselves to guide the speakers about how they want to present their presentations. It's not really used in presentations. It's like creating a storyline for your presentations. You can segregate the slides, build up sections to have a better understanding of the topics that you want to cover in your presentations. Okay, let's get rid of these two. Now it's time for us to explore the other interesting options that we have available in the presentation. Let's say we want to design a new slide and we will do that using all the options that we have available over here. For this, let's select one layout. I want to go with this particular layout. And here, let's say, welcome to the course. Great. Now I don't like this text. I want to change the type of the font type that I'm using for this text. So this option helps us in changing the font type. Let's use Alpha Slab 1. Now that's cool. We want to bold it, so we can use this bold option. I want to make it italic. All I need to do is I need to select this box and make it italic. I want to underline this. I can do this. In case I want to undo all this, so I can deselect these options and all this formatting will be gone. Maybe I want to strike it off. So either I can select this box and say strike it off. It's done. I'm pressing Command Z right now, or maybe I want this to be used as a superscript. So I can go ahead to this superscript option and just click here. And you will see that we have it as a superscript now. So superscripts, if you're not aware, they are usually used for mathematics. I think this will definitely ring a bell, right? It's X1. We all have faced it sometime. And if I want to use this as a subscript, then I need to select this option and we have it as a subscript. So these are the options. Now, welcome to the course. Let's get back to that again. I don't want it bold because it's playing around with the legibility of the font, which I'm not liking much. Now let's go ahead and explore what this option says. For this option, it's the character spacing option. It says very tight. That means it will squeeze the characters together, or tight, slightly squeezed, or normal, like the normal typeface that was available to us, or Or we can do very loose. That means it will increase the character spacing. Or we can say, or we can go for more spacing. By more spacing, we have a couple of options again. It says spacing that is expanded because we have used the very loose option for now. So for spacing, it says expanded. So we have the option of normal, that means the normal typeface that was available to us, or expanded or condensed. For expanded, it was the very loose option, and for condensed, it was the tighter option that we were exploring earlier. So for say I want to expand it, but like the very loose option is not working for me. I wanted to expand it as per my requirement. So I can play around with the points over here. And let's say I said the formatting. So this is how we can play around, or we can increase or decrease the character spacing. There is an option for font. All these options are available over here as well, that I was showing, like superscript, subscript. So you can just select these options from here. You usually don't need to come to this entire thing to incorporate these actions. All you need to play around with is the expanded or condensed in case you want to play around with the character spacing. Once this is done, let's see what other options do we have. So this is the next option, and it says sentence case. Sentence case means if you see, we have W capital and C capital for welcoming course, but sentence case means only the first alphabet will be capital and rest all will be sentence case. Then we have lowercase. So if you see, maybe I am just making the errors on purpose for this one, and let's say we have this. So if you select this, I just used Command A to select this entire text. And so I'll be sharing all these shortcuts throughout the course so that you are also aware why I'm working so fast on the PowerPoint presentations. And you can write down these shortcuts so that you can also enhance your working. So let's go back here and let's use lowercase. And you'll see all the letters are lowercase now. In case I don't want it lowercase, I want them all uppercase. So instead of going ahead and typing all the letters time and again, you can just simply use these options. Here it says capitalize each word. That means the first letter, the first alphabet of each word will be capital. And then last we have toggle case, and so whatever features are being offered in these things, they are very evident in the way they have formatted this. So sentence case, this is what it's offering. First alphabet capital and rest all in sentence case. Lowercase, all lowercase. Uppercase, all uppercase. Capitalize each word. That means the first letter is being capitalized for each word. And last is toggle case, and as we can see what it offers, keeps the first character of the word lowercase and rest all are uppercase. Let's just capitalize each word for now. Next, I want to bump up the font size for this particular content, and we have the option over here. So I can either select the words and type in the number that I want, or I can go ahead over here and select the numbers that are available to us. Let's go for 66 for this one. Next, these two options are also for increasing or decreasing the font size. I can use this to increase the font size or this to decrease the font size. As you just saw, this option is for clearing formatting. So whatever formatting I have added, alpha slab 1, B, it will clear all the formatting and bring it back to the layout formatting that we have for this one. So either you can use clear all formatting in case you want to clear the formatting of one of the text boxes. Like if I go to this particular layout, we have two text boxes. So in case you want to clear the formatting of one text box only, you can use this option to clear the formatting. That way is whatever formatting you must have added to this particular box will be retained. But in case you just have one layout element used on the slide, you can also use this option reset, if you remember, which will reset the slide to the layout of the template. That being said, we have this option of adding bullets. Let's explore how bullets work. And for that, let's add a new layout over here, which is this one. So I'm using this particular layout because I want to add bullets as well. So let's say I just googled how to create bullet points and stuff like that, and I just got this and I'm copy pasting this now. So now I have this, and let's see how bullets works. So I can either select the box or command A to select the entire content. And over here, if I go to these bullet options, we have a couple of options available like these small circles, circle outlines. You can choose either of the options that we have available over here. Let's choose this outline option and welcome to the course. Command A. Let's click on this arrow again, and here are some points like bullet points and numbering. If I click on this, I'm introduced to a lot of new options. Let's explore what these options are. So these options are similar to the ones that were available earlier. Over here, it says color. So if I want to adjust the color of the bullets, I can use the color of my choice. If I want to increase the size, so currently the size is this. If I want to increase or decrease it, so I can just add in a number to increase or decrease the font size. Let's say I have added 130 over here. If you want to customize it, instead of these circles, like the outlines, if I want to use, say, T for the bullet, see, it will use T. Or maybe if I want to use a plus sign for the bullet, so I can also customize this. And see, I have the plus bullet right now, size, color. I have defined all of it. Let's go back to this bullet option again by selecting the text. Until and unless we have selected the things that we want the changes to be applied on, we won't see any changes in the design. Let's go back to the bullets and numbering option. And here, over here, there's another option that says picture. Let's click on this, and if we want to add a specific picture as bullets to our work, we can also do that. So after clicking the picture, I'm selecting this particular picture that says menu burger. Okay. And now we have that particular picture as the bullet points. But I do see that this spacing is a bit off, isn't it? So what I need to do is I'll select all this content, and over here we have two markers. In case this is not showing up for you, that is because your rulers are not on. What you need to do is right click, go to ruler. So it could show like this to you. So in case it's not on, right click and again click on this, and the rulers will be on for you. Command A. So these are the markers. If I move just this marker, the second one, that means only the content will shift. So now you see we have consistent spacing. But if I select the first marker, that means the bullets will shift only. And if I select the second half of the second marker, like the bottom section, then the entire thing, like the bullets and the text, will shift towards the right. So this is how it works. I would recommend you, whenever you find something interesting, just pause the video, go to your PowerPoint presentation and try these things out. These are very basic things that I am sharing right now in order to get you more familiar with the PowerPoint application, so that when I tell you the advanced techniques of creating interesting looking professional slides, you can follow up quickly. So just pause wherever you see something is interesting and go ahead and test it out on your PowerPoint presentation. Hands-on knowledge cannot beat any theory. That is what I usually say. So we have discovered the bullet options now. We have the numeric bullets as well. These work same. So we have either the dot bullet option or the numbers, but all these work the same. Now, once that's done, we have a couple of other options over here as well. It says how we can format the content. So currently we have these bullets applied. Let's say I want to remove these bullets. All I need to do is I need to click on this bullet option. So it has applied some bullet because I played around a lot with this bullet option. If I click it again, it will remove the bullets. If I click it again, it will add the bullets. Remove, click it again. So now I have removed the bullets, and instead of, so currently it's left aligned. Instead of left aligned, I want the text to be middle aligned, or it says the center aligned text, or I want it right aligned, or maybe justified. So these are the options to play around with the text formatting. Now this is done, we have a couple of options over here as well. It says indent more. That is mean indent more means the spacing that we have towards the left. So if I click on indent more, that means it will increase the spacing that we have towards the left. Remember these markers, right? So it's basically shifting these markers from left to right. If I say indent more, it will further shift these markers. Indent more, further shift. Or if I use indent less, then it will keep on reducing this space over here, or you can manually adjust that with the markers, of course. For this, we have the text direction. If I select this, I'm just simply clicking on this and it says horizontal. If I want the text to rotate by 90 degrees, I can do it, of course. If I want it to rotate by 270 degrees, this is the option. If I want to stack it, the word jumble is here. Basically, stacking means if I say just welcome, so this is how the stacking works, like one character in the next row, like one character on one row and then it shifts to the next row. That's what stacking is. So instead, I want to explore more options, then we have this option, and on the right hand side it has opened certain options for me. Let's explore what these options are, because these are very, very handy options that I'll be using in the presentations quite frequently. So let's go back here. Let's select horizontal only. Let's also add bullets in here, because these words right now, they are looking a bit too much for me. Bullets are being added. Instead of orange, let's go back and add black bullets. And 130 is too much. Maybe we can use 80. So we have the bullets now. Let's fix the indent. Awesome. Now let's go to this option that which says more options. Now it says alignment, vertical alignment. So whether I want the text to be top aligned or middle aligned, bottom aligned, or we have other options as well, like top centered, middle centered. So we can explore these options as per our requirement. I want this to be top. Then it says text direction. It's horizontal right now, but these options we have already explored in this section, right? Text direction section. So we have explored this. Now it says do not fit, shrink text, resize shape. What are these options? Let's explore. Do not fit means currently we have this text box and it's fitting in this text box, right? It's restricting itself to the text box. If I say do not fit, that means it won't adjust its size on its own, font size on its own, and it might overflow the text box that we have. If I say shrink text on overflow, that means refrain the font size to the box. So it will shrink the text, reduce the font size of the box in order to ensure that it fits inside the text box only. If I say resize shape to fit text, that means it will automatically adjust the size of the box. Increase it, decrease it, it will automatically adjust the text box size. Then we have left margin. Increase it, that means you are increasing the margin on the left hand side. Similarly, I can increase or decrease the right hand side spacing. It's justified, due to which it's making odd adjustments if I make it left aligned. So if you see now, so right, it won't do much. Right, I'm decreasing it now. If I increase it, so it's moving the text to the next line. Top margin, how much margin do I need from the top? Bottom margin, how much margin I need towards the bottom? Wrap text in shape. If I deselect this option, that means it's overflowing now. It's not wrapping the text in the shape, it's increasing the text box size to whatever length the text goes. Columns, if you want to split your text into multiple columns, then number of columns, say 3. Spacing between columns, I wanted 0.5 points. Okay, so now the text is being split into 3 columns. That's a nice way to format your text, isn't it? Keep that handy because we will be using that a lot. Instead of going over here and then to more options, you can also select any text box that you want. Right click, say this option is not open. So what you need to do is right click, select format shape from here, and then go to text options and then this third option. And here you will see all the options that we have discovered just now. Now that this text option is covered, let's see the other options that we have available over here before we move back to this section of ours. So for this one, it's the shadow, reflection, glow effect. So it's like additional effects that we want to add to our text. If say I delete this and delete this as well. For this one, if I go to text options, this one, if I want to add a shadow to this, here are some presets. The direction of the shadow is being displayed. As per my requirement, I can choose whichever shadow works best for me. Let's say this shadow works best for me. Now I can increase or decrease the transparency of the shadow from here. I can adjust the size of the shadow from here. I can adjust the blurriness or the angle or the distance. And same stands true for reflection and the other options that we have. So this is shadow in case I don't want any shadow. So I can just come here and say no shadow. For reflection, I can come here and say whatever reflection I want. And options are same over here as well in case I don't want any reflection. Let's just skip. We can add glow as well. Whatever glow we want. We can adjust the color of that glow. And we could have adjusted the color of the shadow and reflection as well. We can choose any color of our choice, and there is an option for more colors. So here we have 5 options. From here we have color wheel. We can choose color of our choice, or we can use this color picker tool to choose the color from the slide itself. Or we can adjust this slider to increase the darkness or lightness of the color. Then we have this slider over here in case you want to move the sliders. You can use it, or swatches, gradient, or these pencils. I usually use this color wheel. And in case you want to type the color manually, like color code, we have 3D format. In case you want the text to be 3D, you can use any of the options from here. So if I come here and if I say bevel, you can see that these options are doing wonders. You can increase or decrease the width of it to make it look as per your choice. But I usually don't use these options because it feels like we are going back years and more into the old typographic style that we usually use in paint option, which I don't want to use for my presentations, of course, and no one does that nowadays. And in case I don't want it, just come here, no bevel, and thank God, we just saved ourselves. That's done. You can explore the 3D format option, and we have 3D rotation option as well in case you want to rotate the font. And we didn't have any formatting added, so we are adding this particular formatting. Now if we want to rotate the font, the rotation is happening. Again, we don't want to do that to our slides. We really don't want to do that to our slides. Let's figure out the simple way to revert all this. Let's say reset. Okay, so to remove all this, I need to go back and deselect the options, no rotation, And no bigger. We are done. We have explored all these options that we have over here. Now it's time to move on to the first option that we have over here. It do one things. So let's see. First of all, it has text fill. So no fill, we won't be seeing the text color, of course. Solid fill, that means you can choose the color of our choice from here, from our palette, or we can go to more colors, which I just explained to you. Sea green is the color that we want, so that's it. Then we have gradient fill as well. It opened up a host of options for us. Let's explore what these options are now. For gradient fill, first we have preset gradients, that is, these are the preset gradients. It's like from where the gradient will be coming in, maybe top, bottom, middle, whatever. So you can choose one from the presets if you would like. You can also choose a type of gradient, maybe linear or radial. Radial is like gradient coming from the center. Using the radial option, we can adjust these sliders. So it will automatically change the gradient. When we'll be designing the slides, I'll walk you through these in detail, but for now you can go ahead and experiment it yourselves. We have rectangular and then we have path as well. Once that's done, let's go back to the linear, and we have a couple of other options like which linear direction do we want, and we can choose the one that suits best to our requirement. These are the shape options. Don't get confused with these. If we are editing the text or making formatting changes to the text, we need to go to the text option, and then we'll be able to see the features that we want to incorporate. Once this is done, we can adjust the angle. We can increase or decrease the gradient stops, or you can just simply click on this gradient bar and you can add new stops, or press option and drag outside, or simply just select one, drag it outside, and it will delete the options. So we have multiple ways of doing one thing in PowerPoint. I'll be telling you most of the ways that I know and I frequently use, and the options that are available to us. Just choose the one that suits your working the best. We can add the stops. You can change the color of the stops. Just select any stop. Earlier this was selected. Let's select this one. Then color. Let's select this, and you can choose any color of your choice, or you can go to more colors and pick the color of your choice as well. Let's say I want this orange. Now we have orange in our text gradient. Let's go back in here. If you want to change the position of any of these stops, like these options are related to these stops. So I can increase or decrease the transparency of it. So I'm increasing the transparency of it, and see. We can see the difference over here. Or I can use the slider to increase or decrease the transparency. I can adjust the brightness as well of a particular stop. So these are some options that we have available for the gradient fill. Then we have the option of picture or texture fill. So if I select this, I have the option. So for example, I added this particular picture on my slide. So I'm just dragging and dropping the picture on PPT, and it's adding the picture on the slide. I say I command C this. I copied this picture. That's all. So I have a picture copied right now. Now if I select my text, go back to the text options and picture or texture fill. If I select clipboard now, that means it will copy paste the picture that I just copied. So that's the purpose of picture or texture fill via clipboard. If you want to insert any picture, so you can go to insert, and then you can choose the picture of your choice and just insert it, and it will be same. But if you now see that when we inserted the picture, we don't have these options activated. We select the tile picture as texture. I mean, it's doing something to the picture, of course, but it is then activating these options over here. So instead of just stretching out one picture, it's creating small tiles of that picture to fill in the entire text space that we have. And then we have the option of offset and all these options. So I can I can move the tiles towards the left or to the right. Like Y is for moving it up and down. So if you'll see, if I have it at 0, this is the texture that I'm getting for the. Let's go back in here. And if I offset it to -40, so the texture has changed. So sometimes what happens is we are filling an alphabet with a picture and we want a certain section of the picture to be shown in that alphabet. So we can use this offset options like offset X, offset Y. X is for horizontal movement and Y is for vertical movement. If you want to scale the image, we can also use this option. So 100% is the maximum that we do, but we can also reduce the size of the image. Use the arrows or type the number. Scale Y. So again, X is for horizontal and Y is for height. So if I scale it 80%, so it's decreasing the height of it. Then the alignment, I made it top alignment. You can do center, left, whatsoever you want. Mirror type, in case you want to mirror this horizontal, vertical, so it will mirror these things. So this is one of the options. And then we have pattern fill. We have a couple of patterns available. You can choose whatever pattern you would like to choose. Foreground. You can change the color as well, so it will change the color. Background. I want the background. Foreground is like the texture, line and everything that we have. And background is like the back color that we have for that. I want it white. And this is how it happens. We have covered this as well. Let's go back to solid fill and keep the text stage red. Now we have outline fill. This works the same way as the text fill works, but it is for outlining the text. So currently it's no line. If we go to solid line, then we have the option to choose the color of the line that we want. Now we have yellow outline and blue text both at the same time. So in case we don't want that, we can also do no fill and then we just have the outline, right? So this is how we can play around with the options. Then we have transparency in case we want to increase or decrease the transparency of the line. We have width in case we want the stroke to be bold enough, or we can make it thin as well. Then we have the compound type. So instead of single line, if you want it to be double line. So currently, if increase the size of the stroke, width of the stroke, so you can see it's double line, or we can make it bold plus thin line, whatever choice we want. We have a couple of compound options over here. Then we have dashed line. So we have a couple of options again. We can choose type that we want. Then we have cap type. Font type are usually set, so it's not making much of a difference, but it does make a difference in shapes. So this option works very well with shapes. Then we have join type. Again, this won't work very well, but it will work well in shapes. That is it for text section.
Next, let's go back to the home tab and see what other options do we have. So we have the option of, so this is again the 2-column, 3-column option that we figured out earlier. So these are the column options which we figured out from here. This is again top align, middle align, or bottom align. So in case you want your text to be top aligned in the text box, middle aligned, or bottom aligned. Now let's move back and see what this line spacing option is. If I go to this line spacing option, I can adjust the line spacing by 1, 1.5. In case I want to adjust this manually, what I can do is I can go to this line spacing options, and here I can adjust the alignment left, centered, right, whatever I feel like. And then indentation, we know left indentation that we want. We have discovered that the main options that I use in here are the before and after options. So in case I want the before spacing to say be increased, I'll say 12. If I enter, so the spacing has increased. Then we have line spacing single. So these are multiple options that we can use. Trial and error method works well for this. I can select whatever I want exactly, and here I can play around with the points. I want exactly 13.6 to be added here, so it happens like that. So these are the line spacing options. Mostly alignment is used and spacing before and after is used until and unless you want to squeeze the text into a very small area. If you want to squeeze the text in a very small area, we can go ahead and use these exactly line spacing options, otherwise it stays at single. Then we have line breaks and alignment option. I don't use these much, so we can skip it for now. Next option that we have is convert to smart art. So we have a lot of smart art in here in case we want to use any of the arts. So text is converted into smart art. We can explore this option, of course. We can have another section for this, but for now we know what this convert to smart art does. These are the options that we have for the smart art. Then we have the picture option. Photo browser, it will access our photo gallery. Currently I'm not allowing that, but picture from file in case I want to pull some picture from the file. Or stock images, PowerPoint stock images can be leveraged. Or online pictures, you can pull any pictures if you would like. Then we have the option of adding shapes. Oh my god, numerous shapes we have to use, isn't it? You can go ahead and explore these shapes. Select any shape, draw it on the slide. So currently I'm drawing it freehand. If I draw shift, then it will proportionately increase or decrease the size of this. You can go ahead and choose whichever shape you would like. Just play around a bit so that you get familiar with this option as well. Then we have text box option. We can type whatever we like in here using this text box. Then we have arrange option, and this is for, say, we have welcome to the course in black in front and this one in black. But if I go to arrange option and if I say bring to front, then this is in front now and the black one is in back. So these are some places which we can use. Well, alignment option, left align. So if the text is here, select this. Select the alignment option, left align, and it will be left aligned. Go ahead and explore other options in here, but this is the alignment option that we have. If you want to rotate the text, we have the option. If you want to flip the text, we have the option. Selection pane, we'll get into this later. Then we have quick styles. I usually don't use these. You can explore if you would like, but it's better to skip these. Then we have the shape fill option. In case I want to fill the shape with the color, I can use this option. It's same as the other options, like more fill colors. You can explore picture if you want the shape to be filled with any picture. You can explore gradient and texture. It's similar to the options that we are getting on the right. Then we have the shape outline options. These are similar to what we are getting on the right. So if I select a line, say, these panel will open up. So this is similar to what we have been doing on the home tab, right? We can select the shapes from here if you would like. We can add a text box if we want. These two options are new: merge shapes and edit shapes. I will walk you through these when we are working on designing some slides, because that way you'll be able to understand these better. But otherwise, these styles you can just play around. If you want, shape color is not here, but line color, in case you want to adjust the line color, if you want to add shadows or stuff like that. Bring forward, bring backward. These are the alignment options that we have. Rotate, height. Sometimes what happens is mistakenly we move the points of the line and it's not looking straight, let's say. So what you can do is you can select the line, just come to this option, make the height 0, and you'll be good to go. Apart from that, rotate, width in case you want to increase or decrease the height. Otherwise, you can also shift press, move the points, and the line will be straight and you'll be able to increase or decrease the height as well. And I think that's it. That's all about the home tab and the format shape options that I wanted to share in this video. I know these are very basic things, which usually a person who has been working on PPT for a while must have been knowing. But in case you are a beginner, I wanted to cover all these things for you so that you are also aware about the working of PowerPoint, so that you can follow along with me when I use these options to create amazing and interesting looking PowerPoint slides. In case you haven't followed along, I would recommend you to pause the course over here and go ahead and explore all these options and become familiar with the Home tab, Format, Shape, and Text options. These are the options that I will be using a lot while designing the slides. We have a lot of other tabs as well, like the Insert tab, Draw tab, Design, and whatnot. We will cover these tabs as and when I'm designing the slides because you'll be able to grasp these tabs while I'm doing that. For now, let's explore the Home tab at our ends. And once you feel comfortable and acquainted with this Home tab, then let's move to the next chapter.